After months of claiming he would not do so, President Biden pardons his son Hunter, and we get for immediate release December 1st, 2024, from the White House, statement from President Joe Biden. Quick summary of it. Basically, he said that he wrestled with this decision, but here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I've wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and led it to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made the decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision.
I love this. Actually, people are like, oh, Mercer's going to be so angry about this. I'm like, are you kidding me? I love it. This is wonderful. Even Joe Biden admits the Biden administration has a political DOJ. This is awesome. Even Joe Biden admits that the Justice Department is overly politicized. Oh, what a shock. What a shock. What a shock.
I know. My first thought was, wait, it's your Justice Department. You're in charge of it.
That's You're the guy running it.
I almost forgot, honestly. This honestly just, again, reminded me, Joe Biden is the president right now. Shocker.
Yeah. The question is, why did he do it right now? Like, why not like January 18th, or December, again, he didn't even do it so there's a classic thing when it comes to making news. You want to drop a bomb like this. Usually if you're like Thanksgiving, you should have done this Wednesday, like at 6 p.m. where all the political reporters are going off on their vacations for the holiday, or do it like, Christmas Eve, you just burp, or, New Year's Eve when everyone's like, what? And they're all caught flat footed and, everyone's out on vacations and he does this like Sunday night.
It's in your face. The Biden administration, they know that they're done. They know they're on the way out. They're not even pretending anymore. This is flaunting the sheer raw power. And I think it's also just a case of, his famous tweet there that Pogo previewed for us, that no one is above the law. And that's the line he's been reading that line out loud. Karine Jean-Pierre's been like tweeting that line and saying that line to the press corps ever since they've been prosecuting Donald Trump. Then when all the Hunter stuff came up this summer, and why now? Well, because the sentencing had been commuted for Hunter until December 4th. So it had to be this week. I agree. Why not Wednesday night? And because they just don't care anymore. They are just whatever. I'm just going to put it out there. And like you said, Josh, it's all become politicized. Yeah, because you're in charge.
Can we get a quick refresher on what he was charged with?
Hunter Biden, he was addicted to illegal drugs. And, when you're addicted to cocaine, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to have a firearm. I mean, that's just like a basic thing. Like, we have the right to bear arms. We have the right to purchase guns, but like there are limits. And again, the Democratic Party is the one that always wants more limits on guns. So you would think of all the Democrats would be outraged. How could somebody be flaunting our gun laws? Joe Biden's big on gun control. And yet his son, he's got a firearm and he's addicted to cocaine. And so this is what the FBI can nail him on, because why? They can't get him for all the other Ukraine backroom dealing. And, like Joe Biden basically winking at him like, hey, don't forget 10% for the big guy. The real crimes that Hunter Biden has committed aren't the ones that they're able to get him on, because it's hard. It's the same thing with Capone. So they get him on the gun charge, which is actually the least problem.
Right.
They get him on the gun charge. And what is the other line that Joe Biden has built his political career on the last 10 years? Well, it's pay their fair share. So Hunter Biden was also facing all of these charges of tax evasion in California. I think it's up to $1.4 million he owes in taxes there. So that was also coming down the pike. And like I said, the sentencing for the gun conviction, that was coming up this week. He was going to go to jail for at least some, amount of time, and that's coming down the line. But I think that the shocking thing, the whole thing's not shocking, except for this, that Biden actually chose, instead of pardoning him for the gun charges, instead of pardoning him for specific tax evasion charges and just saying we're going to let him go on these, the sweeping nature of this pardon is any crimes he committed or may have committed since, what's the date? January 1st, 2014. That's almost 11 years. When did he join the board of Burisma? I checked. April 2014.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wait, excuse me. Are you talking about energy executive and expert Hunter Biden?
I'm talking about the energy executive who admitted on national television that he never would have gotten that job if his last name wasn't Biden. Yeah, that expert.
Yeah, right.
10% for the big guy.
So Biden, this is not about his son. Everyone's like, oh, you can understand the heartstrings, the old grandpa in the White House at the end of his rope. He feels for his son. No, that's not it. He's covering his own rear end because now Hunter has been pardoned for everything in the last 11 years, including anything that had touched Ukraine and the vice presidency of his father. And it's disgusting. It is.
As Kimmy notes in the chat, this Thanksgiving Day, he pardoned the wrong turkey.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's really good.
So I've seen a couple interesting things on this and curious if we know anything more. Someone in the chat brought this up too. Because he is pardoned back to 2014, if he is dragged in front to testify, I think theoretically he can't use Fifth Amendment right because there's no jeopardy of him being charged with criminal activity.
He can't claim that he can't invoke the Fifth because he
can't incriminate himself. There's no
he can't be prosecuted for crime. So yeah, that would be interesting. I hadn't heard of that.
However, I guess what would stop him from committing perjury at that point if he's, clearly comfortable?
No, because the perjury would be present. It would not be.
Yeah, it would be post the period of pardon. Post period of pardon.
He would just have to come up with, I can't recall, something like that. Like what
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Like he'll just find a way basically to not say what would actually get him in trouble. Another interesting take
right now, one of the reactions from this, what I would like to see, I would like some Republican on the Hill put forward a constitutional amendment proposal saying the constitutional ability for a president to pardon somebody, make an exemption for that so that it can't be done from November to January of the president's last term in office.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like voters, because it just feels so crummy. Like he kept telling we Republican, partisan, conservative, knuckle dragging Neanderthals, whatever you want to call us, right? We've been saying all year, he's going to pardon him. Like, no, he's not. And they kept asking, KJP on the press secretary, he's not going to pardon his son. Oh, and he said it himself. So these people have lied through their teeth. And again, they lied to the American people. Well, you know what? Why not? Why don't we impeach Joe Biden while we're at it for lying to the American people?
Yeah, well, the Lincoln Project.
They impeached Donald Trump when he had 10 minutes left in office.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Project sure thought he wasn't going to. When MAGA cultists complain about a weaponized justice system, remind them that President Biden has refused to show favoritism towards his son because he has a commitment to the rule of law and our judicial system, regardless of who is involved. That is June 6th.
Well, and that was the farce. All of the Hunter Biden prosecutions and the headlines during the campaign, June, July, August, September, all of those headlines had one purpose, and that was to make Republicans who claimed Trump was being prosecuted look stupid. That was the only purpose of any of that. They were like, well, look, we're also going after, oh my gosh, David Weiss and blah, blah, blah. The purpose of it was just shiny, dangly object to keep your eye off the ball. And he just proved it. Biden just proved it.
Anytime that there's major hypocrisy and there's rightful outrage about something like that happening, here's the line that you should commit to memory. Republicans pounce. It's basically a meme at this point.
It is a meme.
And I don't understand if Politico just doesn't know it's a meme. There was a couple of funny elements to this, but here's a headline from Politico half hour after it's dropped. Republicans pounce.
Half an hour after the pardon.
Yeah, right. Republicans pounce on Biden pardoning his son Hunter. And of course, everyone's like, oh my gosh.
Republicans are angry about it.
Yeah.
They did the meme. And then I looked at their feed and I was like, I cannot believe they just did the meme. And then they just posted at 45 minutes after, Republicans say Biden is a liar after he
they changed the headline.
They changed it, but they didn't delete the original. So I was just, what is going on in this editorial department? But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, commit that to memory, play the game. Anytime you see something like this, you will see an article saying
the outrage isn't that he lied to the American people and that he pardoned his son for all these crimes and again, it's a blanket pardon. It's not for just a gun charge or maybe what happened in California.
Anything he might have done.
Literally any crime he committed in these 11 years. Any crime. So this would be awesome. He'd be like, if he knows his dad's going to do this for him, he could have just robbed a bank real quick. I mean, there's a joke that someone said
I think he might
they
have.
dropped it like a few hours before midnight. I mean, dude, just go. You could just go up and down the street. You could just steal from a 7-Eleven. Like it's
shoot people.
Carte blanche. Let's go.
Right. But yeah, the Bulwark, Josh, has a special place in
the Bulwark, for our listeners who may not realize, the Bulwark is this rub of never Trump Republican types who become super lib. And it was started by Bill Kristol, who used to be pro-life, super pro-life like 30 years ago. Now he's pro-abortion. All he cares about is bombing foreign countries. And that's why he's trying to attack Trump, because Trump is non-interventionist. So Charles Cook, he's with National Review, and he's not even a super Trump guy at all.
Yeah,
but he's like, I can't wait. He says, I can't wait to read the Bulwark's take on this, because the Bulwark, their whole mission in life is to attack Republicans and attack Trump, even if Trump or the Republicans have a point and are true. They don't care. They will walk right into a bomb field because they're so anti-Trump. They're ridiculous.
TDS.
Total Trump derangement syndrome. So
can't wait to get the Bulwark's take, and then Sarah Longwell from the Bulwark. We think it's bad. Thanks for reading.
She says that, and then what happens?
In defense of the Hunter Biden.
Hours later.
I love the subtitle there, the little lead. It says, "This was a tough call, but consider what Trump's weaponized Justice Department would have done to Biden's son." Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know honestly what it would have done to him?
Yes.
I do think Donald Trump will probably end up pardoning Joe Biden, and he probably would have pardoned Hunter Biden, and he would have done it in such a way it would have rubbed their faces in it. He'd be like, despite obvious numerous crimes, I am pardoning these guys, and I still think he's going to. I think he's still going to give me the file and just say, hey, by the way, here are all the other crimes that he's been pardoned from. We're obviously not going to prosecute him, but we just thought the American people would like to know.